In this video resource, we will cover the topic of chapter endowments. Although this resource is primarily aimed to provide valuable information to our Alumni Association officers, others may find it a useful tool in better understanding these endowment funds and the role of the Alpha Sigma Phi Foundation. The Alpha Sigma Phi Foundation was established to provide support to the fraternity's educational and development programs. In order to do so, the Foundation provides a grant to the fraternity during each summer program. The grant dollars support educational programs such as the President's Academy and Elevate Leadership Conference, and ensures that the cost remains low for our members. Additionally, the grant supports ongoing officer training, leadership development, health and safety education, and provides staff support to our undergraduate men. The Foundation is the only avenue for individuals to make tax-deductible contributions to Alpha Sigma Phi. There are 3 types of endowment funds available through the Foundation. 1, chapter endowments, are specific to each individual chapter. The remaining, scholarship and leadership endowments, are created by specific donors and vary in how they can be used. There are 2 pools of money in chapter endowments: a temporary fund, which is immediately available to use, and a permanent fund, which provides a spendable balance year after year. All endowments housed within the Alpha Sigma Phi Foundation share a common thread. Available dollars must be used for qualified educational expenses. Educational expenses are defined by the IRS, which dictates how the Foundation can support the fraternity. Some items that qualify as educational include scholarships, both academic and needs-based, or scholarships for books. Education-related items for a chapter house, such as desks or books, may also qualify as an educational expense. Available dollars can also provide support to chapters for the cost associated with our educational programming, either to purchase tickets, reimburse travel expenses, or cover a portion of the chapter's educational programming fee, which is assessed at the start of each academic year. It is very important to note here that this list is not all-inclusive. If you have any questions about whether an expense may qualify as educational, you should always reach out to a member of the Alpha Sigma Phi staff. We will now cover information related to the chapter endowment. As mentioned previously, there are 2 funds located within a chapter's endowment. The first fund, the Permanent Endowment, has a corpus or restricted balance that is made up of alumni and donor contributions. The Permanent Fund earns investment income every year once the balance reaches or exceeds $10,000. After the balance has been reached, 4.5% is available for the chapter to spend each year and every year following. Because of the minimum balance for the permanent endowment, the Foundation has created a temporary fund that allows a portion of contributions to be immediately available for the chapter to use. There is no minimum balance required, but the balance cannot exceed $10,000. Funds will remain in the temporary fund until used or moved to the permanent endowment by the Alumni Association. There are 2 ways in which you can determine the balance available to spend from a chapter's endowment. The first involves utilizing the Alpha Sigma Phi website, a link of which is provided here on the screen. Each chapter has its own page, which shows the total balance available. The total balance includes both the amount available to spend from the temporary fund and the permanent endowment spendable balance. This number is updated twice each year, in January and in August. However, as I mentioned earlier, the temporary fund is immediately available, meaning the balance can change month to month. For the most updated balance, it's recommended that you contact a member of Alpha Sigma Phi's staff. If your chapter would like to utilize funds, the request must be approved by the Alumni Association President or the Grand Chapter Advisor if there is no Alumni Association. Once you are ready to request the funds, either email your staff liaison or the Director of Alumni Engagement. Once approved, the funds will be distributed in one of three ways. The money will either be applied to the chapter statement if used for an educational expense, as a reimbursement check only with receipts to verify the expense, or by a scholarship or check to an individual. If the money is being sent as a scholarship, that individual must first complete a statement of eligibility form to verify that the funds will be used for an educational purpose before the check will be sent to them in the mail. Gifts made towards a chapter endowment are designated in the following manner: 70% to the temporary chapter fund, 20% to the permanent chapter endowment, and 10% to the fund for Alpha Sigma Phi. Gifts can be made online at donate.alphasigmaphi.org, by check, or by speaking with a member of the foundation staff. Donations made directly to the undergraduate chapter are not placed in the endowment and are not tax deductible. Thank you for joining us for this video resource on chapter endowments. If you have any questions, please feel free to contact a member of our staff.